Good afternoon and welcome to 𝗲𝗍𝗃 Presents AI Lunchtime Live, part of the 𝗲𝗍𝗃 Presents AI Week, brought to you by Middle East AI News and 𝗲𝗍𝗃. Thanks very much for joining us. Ahlan wa sahlan. I'm Carrington Malin, and this is our third show of the week. I'm hosting AI Lunchtime Live every day through to Friday, 26 September. We're streaming live daily from 𝗲𝗍𝗃's offices at Abu Dhabi Global Markets from 12 noon until 2 p.m. UAE time daily. And during the 𝗲𝗍𝗃 Presents week, we're going to be shining light on AI and how it's making our lives easier. We've invited leaders from technology, business, education to join us this week to talk about how AI is changing lives today and business, government, and education with it, including representatives from 𝗲𝗍𝗃, Core42, Microsoft, Analog, AIQ, and more. And we've got three great guests for today, as usual. I'm going to be talking to I'm reading the wrong notes. We're going to be talking to Dr. 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗪, COO of 𝗲𝗍𝗃, which is very nice because you talked to the CEO yesterday. And following that, we're going to be talking to 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗪 Joel, who is the CEO of AIQ, the partnership with G42 and ADNOC, which is very interesting. And then finally, at the end of the day, we're talking to Steve Norrie, the world famous now influencer for AI and data scientists, AI experts. So really looking forward to that. And I'm sure if you're a reader of Steve's newsletter, then you'll want to tune in for that about just after 1 o'clock. So lots to look forward to. And my first guest is Dr. 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗪 in a few minutes' time. If you just joined, welcome to AI Lunchtime Live, brought to you by 𝗲𝗍𝗃 and Middle East AI News. We're streaming live from 𝗲𝗍𝗃's offices in Abu Dhabi all this week through to Friday, talking about AI and how AI technologies are transforming everything and making our lives easier, improving business, government, education, and much more. If you're new to Middle East AI News, Middle East AI News is a top source of news and insight on how AI and other cutting-edge technologies are transforming the Middle East. And we're delighted to partner with 𝗲𝗍𝗃 to bring you this special program, AI Lunchtime Live, part of 𝗲𝗍𝗃 Presents AI Week. And so just a few words about 𝗲𝗍𝗃. Based in Abu Dhabi, 𝗲𝗍𝗃 is a leading global big data analytics and AI company powered by Gen AI, tackling some of the 21st century's biggest challenges, helping enable lifelong human advancement. Part of G42 group of companies and listed on the Abu Dhabi Stock Exchange, ADX. Symbol is simply 𝗲𝗍𝗃. 𝗲𝗍𝗃 have had a phenomenal year so far, and the company currently does business in 4 continents. And during the first half of this year, they reported a 80.2% year-on-year increase on the year before, the H1 2024. So highly impressive. And of course, yesterday, 𝗲𝗍𝗃 and Abu Dhabi-based venture capital firm Shurooq announced a new $100 million AI firm to invest in AI startups globally and bring new technology to the region and to 𝗲𝗍𝗃. This morning, we'll be hearing from the Chief Operating Officer of 𝗲𝗍𝗃, Dr. 𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗪𝗪. If you just joined, you're listening to 𝗲𝗍𝗃 Presents AI Lunchtime Live. Every day this week, 12 noon to 2 p.m. via YouTube and via LinkedIn. And our last show is on Friday. So this is one of the 3 last shows. So please stay with us for the afternoon. You'll find the links, the streaming links for this show and the shows on and subsequently shows on Thursday and Friday on the Middle East AI News website. That's www.middleeastainews.com. www.middleeastainews.com, and look for the 𝗲𝗍𝗃 Presents page. You'll see a banner on the homepage, and then you'll find details of what's going on today and also tomorrow, and streaming links for LinkedIn and YouTube. In a few minutes' time, we'll be welcoming our first guest of the day, so don't go away. And at 12:30, I'm going to do a quick rundown of regional AI news headlines, and about 12:40, we'll be hearing from 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗪𝗪 Joel, CEO of AIQ, the ADNOC G42 joint venture focused on developing AI solutions for the energy sector. A little later, about 10 minutes past 1, we're going to be joined by data scientist, AI expert, and global AI influencer, Steve Norrie. If you've just joined, you're listening to Presight Presents AI Lunchtime Live. We've got a stellar lineup for this week. We had some great interviews yesterday and on Monday. We're kicking off tomorrow's show, actually, with 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗪, the Chief Growth Officer of Presight. So that's CEO yesterday, COO today, and Chief Growth Officer tomorrow. So we are lucky. And tomorrow we'll also be talking to Brazilian engineer and inventor Alex Kipman, who's actually the lead developer of Microsoft HoloLens smart glasses program, and also helped to develop Xbox Kinect, and is now founder of Abu Dhabi-based startup Analog, which is also part of the G42 group. We're going to tackle a wide range of issues this week, how AI is helping governments deliver better and easier public services, how we're using mixed reality to make cities smarter, and how AI is transforming the oil industry. And we'll also be talking to one of the AI startups that's taking part in Presight's new AI accelerator. And of course, yesterday they announced this $100 million fund that will fund AI startups, including even the opportunity to startups in their own AI accelerator, which just first one this year. We'll be talking to one of the startups out of that program tomorrow, I believe. So just another word, if you want more details on this program or on others, then check out the website, www.middleeastainews.com, and you'll find a Presight Presents page with more details and links. Right now, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our first guest, Dr. 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗪, Presight Chief Operating Officer. Part of the G42 group, Presight is a big data analytics and AI company. Is listed on the Abu Dhabi Security Exchange, ADX, and the ticker symbol is simply Presight. I've mentioned that Presight reported first half revenue of over 1 billion dirhams, roughly $300 million, a few times this week. And that's, again, I mentioned before, 80.2% year-on-year growth, which I'll keep repeating because it's just a staggering achievement. And the company's growing in every respect. It's accelerating its international expansion. It's growing its business in the UAE. And it's been developing an increasingly comprehensive portfolio of products, which is bringing to market. And Presight's financial results obviously speak for themselves. So I'm delighted to be able to introduce to you the Presight COO, Dr. 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗪, today. Dr. 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 has more than 25 years experience in operations, compliance, financial risk management, with deep expertise in machine learning, auditing, anti-corruption. He joined Presight in 2021 and today leads operations for the UAE's leading AI-powered big data analytics company, Presight. Prior to Presight, Dr. 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗪 served in civil service. He's also has a doctorate in business administration. And at Presight, he plays a central role in shaping how AI and data analytics are deployed across government and industry, supporting Abu Dhabi's ambition to become the world's first AI native government. And as is the case with many of his senior colleagues, Dr. 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗪 has a very full schedule and unfortunately had to travel this week, but I was fortunate enough to catch up with him a few days ago and record this interview. Dr. 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗪, thank you so much for joining AI Lunchtime Live, part of Presight AI Week, and appreciate you taking the time out in your busy schedule to talk with us about Presight and Abu Dhabi in the UAE. So first off, if I may ask you, the government recently made an announcement that they're investing 13 billion dirhams in becoming an AI native government and really setting their sights very high to do that by 2027. What is an AI native government?
Oh, thank you for hosting me today. Really happy to be with you. First, let me explain something about the UAE and Abu Dhabi and their vision for the future. So as we know, that a long time ago we started, we always love to be a hub for commerce, a hub for tourism. So now At this time, the UAE visions to be the hub for AI and for AI innovation, exploration, and these things. Being an AI native means that we, as a country, we build layers or embed AI within all the ecosystems of the government. So all the platforms are built on AI. This is different from that I come and add things on top of my old legacy system. This is what's the AI native government.
Which is significantly ahead of most of the world's governments. So what sort of groundwork is involved in preparing to be AI native? Does that already exist in Abu Dhabi?
Yes, so to be an AI native, so you need to have a vision, and this is already available in the UAE. You need to have the infrastructure, which is there. You need to have the talent, the human capabilities to be AI native country or government. So in Abu Dhabi now, everything is set up and ready to be the first AI native capital in the world. And here as in the pre-site, we already like the enablers of these initiatives. So we're working with the government in different verticals to enable the government to be AI native.
Maybe you could expand a little on what pre-site's role is, because it's playing a critical role in this evolution.
So here in the pre-site, we have already provided the government with multiple platforms which enable them to be an AI native. So we have the Lifesaver, for example, which is an emergency response center platform, which is proactive. So it's not a reactive, it's based in AI. It helps the blue-collar services like ambulance, civil defense, and these things to respond using AI to save time, to optimize, and to save life within an efficient time. Another example, now we just signed an MOU with Abu Dhabi Police to develop AI policing suite, which is also a proactive platform to respond to crime, to prevent crime before it happens. So all of these activities are AI native activities that help the government to be efficient and optimize its operations.
Exciting.
We have something with the Department of Energy. We have something with the procurement department. We have so many platforms that help this thing.
I was going to say great examples for the rest of the world as well. I'm sure there are countries out there looking very keenly at some of these projects and wondering if they can do the same. Abu Dhabi's become an innovation hub, and it's now recognized globally. It's a center for AI. How has Abu Dhabi been able to do this?
Of course, again, I will go back to the vision. And of course, we always need to have the right partnership. So here in Abu Dhabi, there is the partnership with the US, and we have what is called Stargate, UAE, USA, AI Campus. We have a great partnership with our special partner, Microsoft, who invested in us $1.5 billion US. We have also partnerships with OpenAI, NVIDIA, Dell, and so many partners. So all of this help us to innovate, co-create a new products and solutions that can help the UAE, the region, and the globe.
And I think I'm right in saying that there's enormous efforts and results, in fact, made on building a talent pipeline in order for this to happen.
So talent development, talent availability is a very important thing. Without having the proper channels to build the talent, we cannot progress. So we have the Mohammed bin Zayed University for AI. We have also many initiatives to develop the AI within our school system, university system, or through training within AI companies in UAE. Here in Pre-Site, we also host a program. We have the accelerator program for entrepreneurs, startups to create new initiatives which is related to AI. And we have partnership with AI or AI Hub 71, which is also an enabler for startups to do new initiatives in AI.
Great. And if you had to tell a visitor what was the one thing about the Abu Dhabi ecosystem that's unique, what do you think you'd tell them?
Okay, so again, the vision, the will to do this, the great leaders that enable us to be part of this vision. As you know, UAE had the first AI minister, the infrastructure, the human talent, the universities, partnerships, all of this create this ecosystem that helps to be part of the AI initiatives in the UAE and the world.
What would you say that other governments around the world looking at the UAE's example can take from that? And you mentioned the vision and the willing to invest in new things. Is that the philosophy? Is that the approach that you think would work with other governments as well?
I think here we are taking the lead, where others are still planning how to optimize and benefit from AI. We already have started. We are like, as my opinion, we are ahead from others. So my advice to other countries, it's really the time to utilize and benefit from the power of AI to be efficient, to provide better services to the citizens, and to benefit from the economic uplift that AI can deliver to each of these countries.
Now, I know that 𝗲𝗏site doesn't stand alone. It's part of the G42 ecosystem, and it also has many key technology partners. How do you think the role of these partners in delivering all of this? And I certainly think about the Stargate, the huge Stargate project that was announced earlier this year, and the Microsoft $1.5 billion investment in G42 Group. Can you talk a little bit about partnerships and partnerships with 𝗲𝗏site?
Yes. So as I said earlier, the partnerships are very important. It helps us to reach our goals faster. Of course, with great partners, we can achieve our goals faster and with better quality and efficiencies. What we are doing now, what I'm supervising, that certain solutions being made are like created with the partners in the way that will not only suit or fit with the UAE ecosystem, but also the global ecosystem. So we create solutions and products with our partners that's unique, that can help in this region and outside of this region. So this is the mechanism that we are like following or using here in 𝗲𝗏site.
Great. So we'll have to round off. Any closing comment that you'd like to make for the listeners out there?
AI is a must to adopt and the individual level or enterprise level or the government level. Those who fail or delay the adoption, it will make them fall really behind. And so, general advice, please just consider AI as a must. It's one of the pillars now of every vision for every country to grow and exceed.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adil. Safe travels.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm very happy to be.
You've been watching my interview with Dr. 𝗪𝗏𝗪, Chief Operating Officer for 𝗲𝗏site. This is quite an interesting interview. And tomorrow, just after 12 noon UAE time, we'll be joined by 𝗪𝗏𝗪, Chief Growth Officer of 𝗲𝗏site, who will complete our hat trick of executive leadership from 𝗲𝗏site with CEO yesterday, COO today, and Chief Growth Officer tomorrow. So we are lucky. If you just joined us, you're watching 𝗲𝗏site Presents AI Lunchtime Live, brought to you by 𝗲𝗏site and Middle East AI News, part of the 𝗲𝗏site Presents AI Week. Each day of the week, running through till Friday, Middle East AI News is streaming AI Lunchtime Live from 𝗲𝗏site's new Abu Dhabi offices from 12 noon to 2 p.m. daily. And also, I'm going to bring you a news roundup of the biggest AI stories from across the region. So here's your daily Middle East AI News Roundup for Wednesday, September 25th. G42 has released the second edition of its Future of Sport and AI report this week. The new report shares two important findings, highlighting AI's growing role in democratizing performance insights and also warning of a continuing gap in sports sector's plans for AI adoption. G42, of course, is a sponsor of Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One racing team, and G42 𝗲𝗏site supports the team with cutting-edge AI analytics and insights. According to the report, AI is now helping mid-tier clubs and grassroots athletes gain access to insights once reserved for the elite teams with all the money, so leveling the playing field. However, while 88% of surveyed sports executives are confident in their ability to adopt AI, very few have an actual plan, and resistance to change also remains a key barrier in the sports industry. Meanwhile, in Kuwait, the country's Ministry of Interior has deployed advanced AI-powered security patrol cars. Police patrol cars are now using AI to boost response speed and accuracy of monitoring, investigation, and information retrieval. And the new AI system integrates facial recognition, license plate detection, portable fingerprint ID, directly connected to the ministry's databases, enabling rapid identification of individuals and vehicles, reinforcing security, operational efficiency, and better outcomes. And finally, China's EHang air taxi company will introduce passenger services to Saudi Arabia in November. The Guangzhou headquartered company announced a deal with Saudi technology company Front End and airport operator Cluster 2 to introduce autonomous aircraft services for both passengers and logistics in Saudi Arabia. Initially, EHang will begin passenger services in November using EHang's two-seat, fully electric pilotless air taxi, the EH216S. Previously, you may remember, EHang conducted test flights in Abu Dhabi in June in preparation for launching air taxi services in the UAE. And if you just joined us, you're listening to Presight Presents AI Lunchtime Live, brought to you by Presight and Middle East AI News. Next, we're going to hear from Dennis Joel, CEO of G42 Group Company and ADNOC joint venture AIQ. To accommodate Dennis's schedule, we recorded this interview a few days ago. Dennis was appointed CEO of AIQ in June, bringing with him more than 20 years of experience in commercial operational leadership across the energy sector value chain, with huge experience in oil and gas sector. He's been based in the UAE since 2007 and led operations across more than 20 countries with a focus on scaling businesses, driving operational excellence, and enabling digital transformation. Before joining AIQ, Dennis was Vice President International at Distribution Now, which is a leading global supplier of energy and industrial products, where he spearheaded international growth, digital initiatives, and major operational consolidations. And earlier in his career, he held senior roles at National Oilwell Varco, playing a key role in the spin-off that created DNOW as a standalone company. He also served as leadership roles in Kazakhstan, India, and Indonesia, and was Chairman Emeritus of the Energy Workforce and Technology Council for MENA and India from 2015 to 2019. And today, CEO of AIQ, he leads the company's mission to pioneer AI solutions that improve efficiency, safety, sustainability across the global energy sector. Dennis and I talked about the energy sector, how AI is enabling transformation, and AIQ's deep partnership with ADNOC, Abu Dhabi's national oil company. Dennis, thank you so much for joining us today on AI Lunchtime Live, part of Presight Presents AI Week. Here to talk about a very exciting company, AIQ, and we've got lots to talk about. So let me first ask you if you could just explain in short what AIQ does, what it stands for.
Harrington, first of all, thank you for having me. AIQ was born here in the UAE in 2020. It was a joint venture between ADNOC and G42. We're about to celebrate our 5th anniversary, and that's a significant milestone in the AI space. I read a statistic the other day that says that 95% of companies in the AI space don't even make it 5 years. So the fact that we have now made it to the 5-year mark, and not only made it, we are super profitable. We're super excited to play in the space.
Great. And it's an interesting space because it's not a space that everybody knows something about. And there's the impression there that the oil industry has some very sophisticated technology and also a lot of manual processes that have perhaps been there for a long time. So how would you frame that huge industry that is the energy industry, and how you contribute to that, how you introduce new technology into that?
Well, Carrington, I come from the energy industry and not from the tech side. And yes, many people think that the energy industry is a Luddite industry. However, when we talk about drilling holes and hitting pay zones 13,000 meters below groundwater with a drill bit the size of a soccer ball, I think that it's pretty technologically advanced. However, with that being said, I believe AI has the promise to transform our industry. We're already doing it here at AIQ together with our customer ADNOC, we've been able to take a lot of these inefficiencies and drive a far more efficient, productive, sustainable, and safer operation with deploying AI technology.
Right, and have quite a broad product portfolio that goes across the whole energy sector. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So in the last 5 years, we've been able to develop 14 products. It ranges from the subsurface, all the way from the subsurface to emission prediction. Not only that, we've actually also just recently been awarded the first of its kind agentic AI solution, and we've been able to really transform some of the traditional workflows that the industry uses.
And ADNOC, of course, is both the shareholder and a huge partner for AIQ. Can you explain how that really helps drive your business and your innovation?
It's wonderful to have a shareholder like ADNOC together with the G42. It allows us to have not only the infrastructure that we need to compute and to stand within a sovereign cloud, secure, but also have petabytes of data that can train our models. I think the combination of the two allows us at AIQ to build our models not only on physics-based models, but also on petabytes of data and real-time data, which allows us to have the best models in the business.
And ADNOC really does have a lot of data, doesn't it?
Yes, they do.
And ADNOC has also set itself the goal of being the world's most AI-enabled company. So you're definitely in the right place. Can you talk about some of the products that you've been able to bring to market with ADNOC, perhaps touch on RoboWell?
Yeah, so I mean, we've now ADNOC's doubled down on being not only the most AI enabled, but His Excellency just spoke about wanting to be AI native now. So we are continuously evolving and continuously developing the products. We've been able to autonomously run these wells by putting models out there in advanced process controllers to actually manage an optimum flow within these wells. Today, we're deployed on 500 of ADNOC's wells with that RoboWell, and we continue to deploy more each day. We've been able to now take that and productize it and now ready to expand that into the global market.
Wow. So if it's running on 500 wells, then the savings and the improvements, the efficiencies must be just enormous.
So all our products, I mean, value creation is one of the most important things in AI. I think what's the biggest barriers of AI? And I think the true barrier of AI is really how much value can it bring? And when you think about the products that we've got, the suite of 14 solutions plus our energy AI product continuously not only saves money for our customers, but makes money for our customers. We choose our products, whether it's going to increase production, increase efficiency, make it more sustainable or a more safer place for our most valuable assets, which is our people.
And how fast is this technology in the energy sector moving at the moment? Do you feel this is accelerating? Are we in a sweet spot where things are lining up and moving very fast? Or do you think that's still building momentum?
It's accelerating really quickly. And I think we at AIQ has accelerated the fastest. I think a lot of people talk about AI. I think we've been able to do it. And the reason we've been able to do it, again, this tremendous benefit that we've had having ADNOC not only as a shareholder, but as a customer. Very few people will let you put models into producing wells, with just physics-based models and unproven technology. I think with ADNOC and being able to now prove the technology, we've spent the last 4 years starting from concept to pilot to deployment. We've got the battle scars to show for it, and we've actually adjusted our models to a point where it's been proven and now ready to scale.
And you're actually helping to shape the global industry as a result, I think.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of great players out there, and I talk to them, quite a lot. And when you speak to them, I think the one opportunity that we have that many do not is a partner that allows us to actually co-develop and help us deploy these products and prove that it works.
So talking about co-development, perhaps the largest co-development project that has been in the news recently is Energy AI, which is very, very big and is a co-development project with ADNOC, probably a little bit less understood by general business audience. Can you explain what that is and why it's so important and will have such a huge impact on the sector?
Yep, absolutely. Energy AI, we're super excited about that. That was a recent contract that we've been awarded by ADNOC. And since then, we've already released our MVP, and the results have been amazing. It is actually our first results. We've taken 13,000 kilometer cube of subsurface data, and we've been able to interpret it in what used to take folks months and years to interpret. We've been able to do it in minutes and hours. This ability for these AI agents today it's like hiring a whole entire battalion of PhD employees and be able to do things that is really exciting.
Great. And so what is the full scope of Energy AI in terms of the operations it touches and the transformational role that that project has?
So right now with Energy AI, we focused on the upstream, and we believe that the upstream sector of the energy sector is probably one of the most where AI can make the most impact. And within the upstream sector, we believe the subsurface has a lot of things that we don't understand. And we do understand them through data that we get. And we are right now unlocking a lot of that data with this agentic AI. So we're going to start there, and then we're going to move towards the rest of the value chain. But right now, we're unlocking a lot of the value within the subsurface is what we're trying to do with the Energy AI.
Wow. And so this is also helping to power your R&D and innovation to look at what's next.
Absolutely. I mean, the AI landscape is transforming so quickly, and we continuously are advancing, and we want to continue to lead that space. So whether it's our 14 products that we've developed, we've got a couple more in the pipeline. We got Energy AI, the first agentic AI at scale. So we're continuously following this. We believe we'll continue to lead.
Can you tell us about what's coming up? What can we expect to see from AIQ in the next couple of years? I know you're expanding internationally. I know there's probably more R&D on the horizon. Could you give us a sense of what's going to happen, what we might see in the future?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, I think the last 5 years we've built 40 incredible products, proven technology, proven value for us. And the next couple of years is to take the products that we built here. The vision of AIQ was to build a UAE-born tech company. Right now, we've done that. We've got the great foundation, great products. And for the next few years, what we're going to do is prove that value by expanding and exporting that technology that we built here in the UAE. Right.
And if I'm right in saying that some of those products are already in the cloud, available globally now.
Yep. So we're sitting on several marketplaces around the globe, and not only on the cloud, but we've also got some edge solutions that we're putting our products on. And therefore, our customers are going to be able to access our products not only on the cloud, whichever cloud that they're operating under, and then also on premises.
Great. And you touched on agentic AI with reference to the Energy AI project. How much of this new technology is going to be agentic AI now, given the advances in the last couple of years?
Well, I think the CEO of Microsoft said SaaS is dead. And I think that that's really from the birth of agentic AI. I think these AI agents are going to change the technology landscape. I think that we are watching the space, and we're actually playing in the space and leading in this space. We believe that the AI agents will be the new tools of the future.
Yeah, and across many sectors as well.
Many sectors. I mean, this is not just, these agents are not going to be only, for the energy sector, but, for our daily lives. I mean, we're seeing it in our traditional tools that we use every day. These agents will start popping up everywhere.
Yeah. Dennis, thank you so much for coming in. Is there any closing comment you'd like to make and leave us with?
Nope. I think the main thing here, Carrington, I think that, the AI space is super, super exciting. I mean, when I think about, things that get me up in the morning to go to work is that, not only for the energy space, but for this region, I mean, AI is super, super exciting. And the fact that, to be able to sit here as AIQ, leading the charge when it comes to the convergence of AI and energy, I think that that's a wonderful place to be. And, I think that everyone should embrace the transformation that AI brings and challenge the way we manage today's workforce.
Absolutely. Dennis, thanks so much for joining us on AI Lunchtime Live, and have a great day.
Thanks, Gary.
This is AI Lunchtime Live, and you've been listening to my interview with Dennis Jdol, CEO of energy-focused G42 group company AIQ. We talked about transformation in the energy sector, AIQ's partnership with ADNOC, and energy AI. And if you've missed any of these interviews, you'll be able to watch after the program. The recording will be available on LinkedIn and on YouTube later this afternoon. And you'll be able to recap and watch that Dennis interview again. If you're not already familiar with Middle East AI News, Middle East AI News is the top source of news about AI and cutting-edge technologies from around the region and how those technologies are transforming the Middle East. The website is www.middleeastainews.com. There's a weekly news digest that goes out every Thursday morning and gives you a breakdown of all of the top stories from the week from around the region. There is also a daily news minute that goes out 6 a.m. UAE time every morning with a roundup of the previous 24 hours top news headlines from the region in AI. And you can get that by email. You can also listen to it on Spotify, Anghami, YouTube, and other streaming sites. And then we have the weekly Thursday Deep Dive Middle East AI Live news show on Thursdays at 12 noon KSA, 1 p.m. UAE, where we talk with the mover and shaker from the region about big trends, investments, R&D outputs, and other big announcements. And next week, in fact, I am talking to Dev Singh, the new Vice President of Engineering for the Middle East, and Qualcomm's new Abu Dhabi Engineering Center. So that's another Abu Dhabi story for you next, not tomorrow, but next Thursday. So all of that information is at www.middleeastainews.com, as is the information on this AI Lunchtime live show and the show tomorrow. If you want to look at the program and find the links for streaming on YouTube and LinkedIn, you'll find it at www.middleeastainews.com. Look for the Pt Presents banner, and that page has all the information you'll need. So every day this week, as you may have noticed, we're talking about AI from 12 to 2 at a Presight's offices at ADGM in Abu Dhabi, looking at how AI is transforming industries, changing lives, and the activities and rapid growth of the G42 group, and Presight included. Earlier in the show, I was fortunate enough to chat with Dr. 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗪, COO of Presight, about the UAE's AI leadership, Abu Dhabi's goal of becoming an AI native government by 2027, and how Presight is supporting the government's transformation. And then just now we heard from AIQ CEO Dennis Joel about transforming the energy sector, AIQ's deep partnership with Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, ADNOC, and the growing portfolio of cutting-edge AI products that AIQ has available to customers increasingly via the cloud globally. We have a full week of guests from G42 Group, Presight. Tomorrow we're also speaking to another G42 Group company called Analog, and even one of the AI startups in Presight's AI Accelerator program. And you may have already heard my news headlines earlier, but I'm just going to do a quick recap now. So here's another recap of the Middle East AI news headlines for Wednesday, September 25th. And G42 has released a second edition of its Sports and AI report, which is an interesting read. The new report shares two important findings, highlighting AI's growing role in democratizing performance insights, and also warning of a continuing gap in the sports sector's plans for AI adoption. G42, of course, is a sponsor of the Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One racing team, and G42 company Presight supports the team with cutting-edge AI analytics and insights. According to the report, AI is helping mid-tier clubs and grassroots athletes gain access to insights once reserved for elite teams with huge funding. And this is leveling the playing field for sports and for competitiveness across different sports. However, of the 88% of executives surveyed who are confident in adopting AI and AI adoption within their teams and organizations, many admit to not having a clear roadmap at all. And there is also resistance to change that remains a barrier. So that's the continuing gap in the sports sector in AI adoption. Meanwhile, in Kuwait, the country's Ministry of Interior has deployed AI-powered security patrol cars. Police patrol cars are now using AI to boost response speed and accuracy of monitoring, investigation, and information retrieval. the system now uses facial recognition, license plate detection, portable fingerprint IDs, all from the patrol car. And all of this is directly connected to the ministry's databases, enabling rapid information retrieval and identification and more. And then finally, air taxi story, the eVTOL company 𝗍𝗲𝗀𝗃 Air Taxi will introduce passenger services to Saudi Arabia in November. So the Chinese air taxi company has signed a deal with Saudi technology company Front End and airport operator Cluster 2 to introduce autonomous aircraft services for both passengers and logistics. Initially, 𝗍𝗲𝗃 will begin passenger services in November using 𝗍𝗲𝗃's two-seat, fully electric pilotless air taxi, the 𝗂𝗃-216S. Previously, 𝗍𝗲𝗃, of course, conducted test flights in Abu Dhabi in June in preparation for launching its air taxi services in the UAE. And if you just joined, of course, you're listening to Presight Presents AI Lunchtime Live, brought to you by Presight and Middle East AI News. We're just going to go to a short break and come back. And very shortly, we'll be talking to Steve 𝗏𝗏. So stay with us. Welcome back to AI Lunchtime Live, brought to you by Presight and Middle East AI News. And I've just noticed Michael Korzian from Presight lurking in the corridor, so I'm going to ask him to come in and have a quick word with us. Michael, come in.
Carrington,
Hi.
a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Great to be here with you and
thanks for
all
dropping
the
in.
people joining in live and our listeners. It's a real honor.
And you're, of course, Senior Director of Communications for Presight. So we worked together on the Presight sponsorship of Middle East AI News, which started at the beginning of the year. How Presight helps Middle East AI News expand and grow.
Yeah, certainly. Look, first and foremost, it was a real honor and we're really proud to be the first sponsor to come on board and commit to the platform. I personally have been a long-time follower and reader of the
Thank you very much.
of your newsletters and the website. Yeah, look, we've seen unfortunately the media sector really reducing, and we're losing a lot of great talent in technology journalists covering what is an amazing story of the Middle East's rise in artificial intelligence and the important role that we're playing. So we're thrilled to have a platform like Middle East AI News there to tell that story and to deep dive on it. It's one thing where to read the headline and to see the statements that are coming out, but then to really understand the story and go into a lot more detail with programs such as what we're doing here this week with you, your weekly podcasts and the deep dive that you do onto those AI stories from our region. We really value that. We think it's important, and we want to be an active contributor to ensure the continuity of it.
It's a fascinating story, and we're both right in the midst of it. Delighted to be there. And it's also, I've noticed that it's been doing this 5 years now. And this year is obviously a pivotal year with your sponsorship and others. But we've really gone from 5 years ago covering what the region buys to now covering what the region makes and exports, and Presight is, right there in the center of that brand UAE, made in the UAE effort, where we're actually producing technology that other countries want to buy. And I've witnessed all that firsthand, so that's really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think that people may not pay enough respect to the importance and the role, particularly Abu Dhabi, the UAE, plays in a global sense. I mean, we only have to look at the headlines that have been made this week and in the past few weeks to see how important we are in the global sphere. Donald Trump coming to unveil and launch Stargate UAE is a significant big deal. That made major headlines all over the world. This is something that we really should be proud of, the important role that we contribute in AI around the world globally. And then the number of significant US technology companies which are coming here. They're coming here to build infrastructure. We certainly are the envy of the world. There are not many countries around the world that can court that type of partnership in the ecosystem. Most of the major players are here. Most of the major players are messaging you on a daily basis to get news onto your platform and to share their headlines.
Absolutely.
This is quite flattering. This is great. We really welcome that. It takes me back actually to a conversation I was having with, in a previous role. I used to work as the head of the technology practice at Hill & Knowlton. And many of my clients would often share the frustrations that they had in that we have brilliant stories to tell about the development of AI locally and the work that their clients are doing in the region, but there's no way to share that story. There was no platform. There was a lack of ability to be able to share these great stories. So we saw that there was this gap, and we were desperate for someone to fill that. And your platform has really
delighted to come and fill that gap.
Your platform has provided the opportunity to really tell those stories, and it's I guess it's a case right now of being in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely, right place, right time. And yesterday, when I was talking to 𝗪𝗻 CEO of Presight, we talked a little bit about brand UAE, and AI is now part of the UAE brand. We've gone past the planning and the ambition and the guardrails and the education, and now it is recognized worldwide as being a national brand that's associated with AI, and that's just incredible to see firsthand.
Yeah, phenomenal. But I'd say we're not alone. There's a lot of competition there for who, that ranking order, and there are some that are trying to rank the UAE even higher, or Saudi Arabia as well, even higher than where they are. I think that there is a lot of competition in the AI arena, and a lot of countries that are looking at the benchmark that our region is setting and trying to emulate that. I think that we pay a lot of respect to the vision and the leadership of the UAE, particularly taking that very bold step of introducing a minister of AI back in 2017, when no one was thinking about AI like they are now. I think many thought that was perhaps a step that was taken too early. But you look at where we are now. You look at the importance that it plays in the economy, and you look at the foresight that they had to do that back then was incredible.
Absolutely.
So that's something that must be commended, and it's placed the UAE in an interesting position now.
Incredible foresight, and there's some fascinating but also hilarious interviews with His Excellency Sultan Al Alama, where he's talking about the early days of being a minister, and people actually laughed. I mean, there were and made disparaging comments, and representatives of other governments were very, unsure and kept possibly critical of why have an AI minister. But the country got it right, and the leadership got it right. And now you see the proof of that. In all of this development, adoption, education coming together, and now it's part of the UAE brand. It's an incredible story.
You look also at other countries now that are emulating what Abu Dhabi, the UAE have done. They're really looking at the UAE as a benchmark to copy. And you only have to look at there are a number of ministers of AI now in many other countries around the world. I would also add the point that it's not just AI. You look at institutions such as GITEX. GITEX now, I can't even remember, I think it's more than 40 years now of GITEX. And it's just around the corner as well. Arguably, GITEX is the world's #1 technology event. It is bringing all the major players in the tech ecosystem together, held across numerous venues now. And it is a moment during the year where everyone converges. A lot of deals are done. A lot of innovation is showcased. GITEX is incredibly important. And the UAE, again, from a very early stage, positioned itself with this event as being the epicenter of the tech world. So I think the UAE has proven over and over again that it has the leadership and the foresight to produce these incredible innovations and platforms that really lead the way globally.
Absolutely. I was fortunate to run GITEX for 3 years in the 90s, and it became the biggest show. It filled all the halls, but there are only 5 halls. So it was still about, I think, 10,000-12,000 square meters, where, of course, now it takes over the whole of Dubai. So can you tell us a little bit about what Presight is going to do at GITEX?
Yes, more than just Presight, G42. It's going to be a fantastic event for us this year. We actually have, giving a little tease here, we're going to have the G42 district. So we will have G42 plus our G42 operating companies who will not just have one booth, but we're going to have a collection of 5 booths in a district. So a lot to showcase across the entire group. A lot to come and see. Every operating company will have their own little display and a lot of product solutions and innovations to show off. So we really welcome anyone who's attending GITEX, anyone who's in the UAE. Come on down. There's going to be a lot to see from the entire G42 group. Presight specifically, a highlight of our showcase at GITEX this year will be on our startup accelerator. So earlier this year, we launched the Presight AI Startup Accelerator. We have 10 of our startups that are going through that process now. And we have some big reveals to share at GITEX, where we will be showcasing what our startups have got up to over the last couple of months. I can't share too much now. I don't want to reveal everything before GITEX, but all of these startups, all of these 10 startups have been in the last few months courting different entities around the UAE and also Presight's international markets. So they have secured projects, contracts, and investment, and we're going to reveal all of that at GITEX. And it just shows the power of the G42 ecosystem at work.
Excellent. And actually this time tomorrow, we have 𝗲𝗍 from NodeShift, one of the startups in that Presight AI Accelerator program. So looking forward to talking to him about sovereign cloud and his experience in going through that accelerator, and interfacing with Presight. Very exciting.
Yeah, you'll hear firsthand from one of our startups there. So that's brilliant. I will also mention for the benefit of GITEX as well, you have GITEX Global up at DWTC, and then we have the GITEX Expand North Star, which is dedicated to startups down in Dubai Harbour. We're at both. It's going to make it tricky to be in between both locations. So, but again, just a shout out to the entire GITEX organizing team for having such an amazing event spread across the whole city. It's going to be very exciting.
So you really have about 10 days break between the Presight Presents AI Week and GITEX.
Yeah, it's a busy season. We're well into busy season now. A lot is happening, a lot going on. All hands on deck. And it doesn't even stop at GITEX. We've got, after that, we've got ADIPEC. Obviously, Presight has a significant involvement within the energy ecosystem, a number of solutions where AI is helping energy organizations. And after that, then as we head towards the end of the year, we've got Abu Dhabi Finance Week, a major event happening right here at home in ADGM. Hopefully that'll be our last event of the year, but a lot that we're showcasing there about AI in finance. So yeah, we've got a busy period all the way through to the end of the year.
So we're a little bit over halfway through Presight Presents AI Week. And we have Dubai Eye, business breakfast team in the mornings. We have Middle East AI News, lunchtime slot. We have 𝗲𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃 in the afternoon. How's it gone so far?
Yeah, fantastic, actually. Look, we have been incredibly proud to welcome the media into Presight HQ, to Abu Dhabi, to the ecosystem. And look, there really was a strategic decision here to say, we're opening our doors. We talk a lot about how Abu Dhabi has this amazing AI ecosystem, but don't believe us. Don't trust me. Come and see it for yourself, and come and have a look behind the curtain and see what we're really doing. Speak to our people, see our team in action. It was really important to us that we wanted you to come and see it and then tell that story. And that's what this has been about this week, really bringing everyone down so they can see it for themselves, speak to our experts, see the team in action, and facilitate tours of the ecosystem. We had the Dubai Eye team actually go out to Core 42. They went to AIQ and ADNOC. They saw they saw what was presented to Donald Trump when he was here, the UAE US AI campus architectural sort of display, which is incredibly fascinating to see. So we wanted to really show...
The model takes up a lot of space on its own, doesn't it?
Just the model, yes, yeah. I think there was quite a few secret details that were revealed to them during that visit, which was, and I think the team shared it on air too, which was interesting. But it's fascinating. But we wanted to have that transparency and bring everyone down so they could see it for themselves. And I hope they feel it. I hope they feel it the same way that we feel it now as well.
Excellent. And there's most of G42 companies have all got brand new offices, haven't they now? And Core 42 is a new office. You have the new office. Everybody's got a shiny new office.
Yeah, Core 42 at the Yas Creative Hub. I've been there. It's I have to say I am a little envious. They've got a beautiful office over there, the Core 42 team. So shout out to them. As you've probably seen with us here today, our ADGM office here is we are expanding so rapidly. We're quickly going to need more space as well. So
I'm sure. Stand
by. There might be more office space in the horizon.
Yes, I'm going to be talking to 𝗲𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗪𝗲 tomorrow about the hiring side and the finding of AI. Sorry, on Friday about the hiring side and the AI talent. 𝗲𝗲𝗪𝗲𝗪𝗲 is Human Capital and Culture Officer, I think. So it'll be our fourth C-level interview this week from Presight, which is
I'm really looking forward to that one as well. I mean, I think it's a little bit left of center for who you normally speak to in terms of you're typically on the very technical side. But let's not forget that at its very foundational base level here, what's driving this growth is the people and the talent. And you've seen the stories, and to repeat it for your listeners as well here is that OpenAI is very publicly saying that it's giving $1.52 million bonuses for retention of their staff to stay at OpenAI.
Yeah.
That's every staff member is going to get a $1.5 million bonus retention to stay at the company, because you also have Meta, Alphabet, and all the other major tech players who are spending up to $20 million per staff member to recruit from OpenAI.
Yep.
So this just emphasizes the incredible crunch on AI talent. So put that question to Ava. What is Presight doing? What is G42 doing to enable?
And when does Michael get his 1.5 million retainer?
I can assure you that I'm not in the ranks of the OpenAI employees getting those type of salaries, unfortunately. But there is a very real talent crunch on AI, and all of this is not possible if we don't have the right talent and resources.
Yeah.
So what are we doing to bring those in? What is the entire Abu Dhabi ecosystem doing to bring in that talent? Thomas spoke about it with you earlier in the week that we have some great foundational elements here in Abu Dhabi. One of the world's most livable cities, the most safest place in the world to live. The ease of doing business here. All of these things are great things that do help to attract talent. But what else? How do we stay ahead of the game? How do we compete? Ava can speak about culture, its role, how important that is, and what are we doing to make sure that we are attracting that talent?
Absolutely, and the money's not the main motivator after a while, is it? And people do look for the right fit and the right culture, and
it's incredibly important. Incredibly important.
This is fantastic. Thanks so much for this partnership and inviting Middle East AI News to come and be part of Presight Presents AI Week. It's a great week, and great to be alongside 𝗬𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗧𝗏 and 𝗂𝗏𝗪𝗏 as well, and lots of great guests. So it's quite a week.
Yes, thank you, Carrington. Thank you to the whole team. Special shout out to producer 𝗍𝗲 as well. Thank you, the champion behind the camera. You don't get to see her, but she does a lot of hard work, and we've been so incredibly blessed to have her support. I also do one more shout out, and that is we welcome engagement, guys. Questions, comments, please send them through. Happy to answer anything. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and do share your questions and comments.
Welcome back to AI Lunchtime Live, and apologies for the short break. We had things to do, and now we're back. Coming up next, we have Steve 𝗫𝗫𝗀, your favorite Aussie expert, AI expert, and creator of the world-famous newsletter AI Frontier. Really looking forward to talking to Steve. Also, let me tell you a little bit about what's coming up during Presight Presents AI Week. This is a full week of programming organized by Abu Dhabi-based big data analytics and AI company Presight. Each morning, you can listen to a special edition of Business Breakfast on Dubai Eye 103.8 FM from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. UAE time. Each lunchtime from 12 p.m. until 2 p.m. UAE, you can listen to AI Lunchtime Live, brought to you by Middle East AI News and Presight. And each afternoon, there's the Arabic station 𝗪𝗲𝗪 radio, 100.9 FM, which will be continuing the Presight AI Week themed in the afternoon. Make sure you watch tomorrow's AI Lunchtime Live, when shortly after 12 noon, we'll be talking to Presight Chief Growth Officer, 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃, Chief Growth Officer, talking to him just after 12 tomorrow, which is quite nice. We had CEO, we've had the COO today, and tomorrow we're going to have the Chief Growth Officer on the program. Later on Thursday, I'm going to be talking to Alex Kipman, founder and CEO of Analog. And finally, on Thursday, we're going to be talking to 𝗬𝗲𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗃, who is founder of NodeShift, which is one of the AI startups taking part in the 𝗶𝗫 AI Accelerator program. It just started this year. So looking forward to talking to him about the program. Then on Friday, AI Lunchtime Live, we'll be talking to 𝗲𝗫 Mourinho, Chief Human Capital and Culture Officer. We're going to be talking about AI talent, the AI talent pipeline, and the difficulties of recruiting talent and how the UAE is doing. So a full week packed with AI on AI Lunchtime Live. If you just joined, this is part of 𝗶𝗫 Presents AI Week. AI Lunchtime Live, brought to you by 𝗶𝗫 and Middle East AI News. You can listen to this via LinkedIn or via YouTube. And after this program, it will be the re-recording available, so you can rewatch what you've missed, rewatch the interviews or see what you've missed. Great. So I see Steve is here. So I'm going to watch Steve to come and join us. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Vernon.
Thanks
Thank you
very
for
much
having
for
me.
making time in your amazingly busy schedule. You've
I
been
know.
traveling a lot.
Yeah, no, I know. It's super cool. Very exciting time about the world of AI is sort of getting huge amount of visibility. People are excited. Obviously, there are lots of great projects that are being done. So I'll have to go around the world and see what's going on and how we can collaborate and contribute.
Yeah, so you're in demand at the moment. You've been traveling quite a bit, and perhaps we could, for those of the listeners who don't know you well, just take a step back and sort of talk about where you've come from, what you do, and so you're started in data science originally, if I'm right.
Yes. So I was like my story is pretty much very, very cookie cutter of somebody who started as a software engineer, was doing software engineering for a long time, startups and sort of government. And then I was part of a project. It was a hospital information system. It was a very interesting project, lots of data sets. And all the doctors were asking me, how can we get the value of the data that you're storing? Like there's lots of data about the patients, the processes, and everything was too difficult to extract. It was not just one Excel sheet, right? So then I was just researching about it and I got incarnated to a new topic. It was called data science.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that was just the name because it was very early. I'm talking about 15 years ago, right? So there was like a conversation about data mining, data science coming to this world. So did my master's and I think that was the best decision ever. And then the rest is just like essentially entering into the new world. It just opens up a lot of new opportunities, digging into the data, bringing lots of great insights. From there, always I wanted to make sure, how can I get highest value insights from the data that we have? And then how can we automate? These are two major things that I was always in the front of my mind. I joined the government as a head of data science for Australia National Research Centre. I was an academic researcher, lecturer, before starting my company, GenAI Works, which is now the largest AI community in the world.
Yeah, and you're one of the first on board to this new wave of AI. It started with GenAI 2022, and I guess never look back.
Yeah, I was very lucky. So there's a little bit of a story there. I was asked by Singapore government to deliver a talk about the future of AI. It was 2022, before ChatGPT. And digging down into the whole kind of world of AI, I saw some of the trends, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be bold about it. So I predicted there's a wave coming, and there would be a huge impact from these new wave of AI, which we can call whatever, generative AI. At that point, I wasn't calling it anything, but it just like, this seems to be a trend. Have predicted this 6 months before ChatGPT dropped. And then I was kind of in a situation that if I'm predicting this, I need to follow my own thoughts, and I need to eat my own cake. So I started this community. I was like 6 months early with the community of generative AI. People had no idea at that point, like what it is.
Yeah.
And many actually thought mistakenly that we started the terminology and the whole thing. So a lot of people reached out to us. It's just like, what is this generative AI? And as you said, that's the rest is the story. ChatGPT dropped, everything exploded. Everybody was afraid, excited at the same time. And we were there helping them to understand how to learn AI and generative AI.
Yeah. It's a credible story, isn't it? Because we started with really until 2023, this was the domain of experts, and nobody wanted to talk about AI, let alone hear about it, read about it, not interested. And then we get ChatGPT, and suddenly, everybody's interested, and then the snowball keeps going, and now we have, a whole world that's obsessed with AI. And so
that's true. I mean, 8 years ago when I started sharing content on social media, on LinkedIn, I was talking about AI and I was sharing about it. And I was getting a lot of comments saying there's no such thing as an AI. And they were like mocking, like, well, what are you talking about? There's no such a thing. It's just, it's all fantasy, and you're just making things up. And the good news, I don't get them anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're talking to a lot of customers these days. And other audiences, and very pleased to have you here on the show. What is hot? What are people talking about? What is the things that you get most questions about?
So as you said, like it's super crazy busy days. The flying all over. I just arrived from Baku, the first investment forum. If I want to put them in a bucket, or government asking one question, users and people, and then there are entrepreneurs and enterprises. Each one of them, they're looking at this from different perspective, and they all want to make sure that they can predict things just a little bit ahead of the time. And to be honest, I made many predictions. Hundreds of them did not come true. So do not take everything with a grain of salt. But the reality is, like, everybody wants to know how they can be fast. Agility is very important in this world of AI, where everything is happening so quickly. And even like the time that we are talking, I'm sure there's somebody just dropping a new model, or there's something being announced that we are going to miss out. So the question is about how can we stay ahead of this? And how can we get to the competitive advantage? Where should we look at? What is the best way for us to enter if we are planning to enter into the world of Gen AI? Each one of them has its own long conversation, but There are also some buzz and hype around some of the technologies that are out there. Obviously, AI agents are the forefront of the conversations. Everybody wants to go all the way to the full automation. As I said, like always, front of my thoughts are about leveraging data and how to automate things. Fully automation and agentic AI are sort of like the end goal that everybody thinks that they can leapfrog to. But I think we're still on the way to there. And there are lots to sort of discover and leverage until we arrive. So my long answer is that let's go back to principles. Let's identify the business and competitive advantages that you have. Like in Baku, it's about the country and a corridor and energy. Same for UAE, exactly the same situation. And for people about the skills and special understanding of a business that they can enter into the world of AI.
And it's a confusing time for organizations these days with this technology moving so fast. And I still get questions from people that want to choose the technologies now and don't really want to change them. So it's like, okay, we're gonna all standardize on Microsoft Office, and that's what we're going to use for the next few years. We don't need to worry about it. And they want to do the same with AI for some quite complex things. And the technology is moving very fast. A lot of people find it difficult to get their head around this, that it's moving so fast.
That's one of the major challenges with this new round of change that is happening with this technology. Like a lot of times when we want to predict the future, we look at the past. And the problem is, in the past, we've never had a similar sort of rate of change that was sort of, in the real meaning, revolutionizing the way we work, the way we think, the way we interact, the way we live. A lot of people using ChatGPT as a friend or as a counselor, and they refer to get some emotional support. And these are new. Like it was never a thinking. I mean, we have heard about it in sci-fi movies, and we watched a lot of like movie Her and similar things. So the rate of change, the impact, just makes it super important for us to understand how can we make sure that we are still on top of this, in charge, and we are making sure that it does not derail in a way that we will not be able to, to manage. But at the same time, because of the high impact, it's so exciting. And I'm, as a technologist, super pumped to see how I can push this further.
Right. So I'm going to try very hard not to put you on the spot and ask for a prediction. But we have this big wave of generative AI. And now on top of that, we have this big wave of agentic AI, with a lot of excitement that agentic AI is going to come in and automate everything for us. A lot of technology being built into existing platforms by big vendors, and a lot of expectation. So what do you feel is going to be the impact in a very short term with agentic AI? Are we seeing a big impact now? Are we still waiting for that big impact?
So, I mean, the reality is that right now, AI agents are not ready to fully automate many of the tasks that we would like them to do for us. Especially, it's about the risk of that 1% that might go wrong. And imagine for an enterprise, that risk is everything. I think about the moment that Gemini was announced by Google. They had a mistake, very minor mistake, in one of the factual information they share, and it cost them millions of dollars. A lot of companies are not sure if they really want to go there, and that millions of dollars might feel a little bit expensive for some. So what we are seeing here is mostly a collaboration. Still, we are in a co-pilot moment, and I feel that we are maybe a year or two away from AI agents being actually implemented and driving the real impact.
Mm.
We've seen some POCs, obviously POCs, and sort of in its sandbox, they look good. They will show you a lot of interesting results. But if you think about it, on the other hand, the consumers are thinking, okay, how can we make sure that we can use them and implement them very quickly, but we don't see that negative and risky side? And the answer is usually, okay, then you need to be involved. As a human, you need to be involved. And there's a new sort of terminology, the human on the loop. For some of the audience have heard about human in the loop. It was essentially a person as a part of the process double checking every single task that was being shipped or being processed. But human on the loop is essentially somebody staying aside, waiting for a moment that needs intervention. And that moment will be predicted and suggested by AI. So the good news is the same AI that makes the mistake in a lot of scenarios has the potential and understanding that the result is not actually perfect and needs help. And it's not either factual or not very accurate. And that's a problem, general problem with LLMs. So specifically the bigger size models, the sort of monolithic models, they make the whole text and sort of the prediction or whatever we call it in one go or sort of in one or two steps, which means that when it slides in the wrong direction, is not there's no way for it to correct the course, and it will go all the way. But now with new sort of LLMs that have like reasonings and they're more have more steps, that can be corrected on the way. But still, it's not 100% there. You would need somebody on the loop, a co-pilot or whatever you call it, to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Humans are going to be around for quite a long time. There's not going to be everything automated.
I hope so. I would love to stay involved in the sort of making decision for some time, but I don't mind at some point to getting disrupted and going to the beach and enjoy some drinks for the rest of the day.
Here's one of the things that's come out in the last few months, though. There was a study recently from KPMG at Melbourne Business School that looked at Gen AI usage in workplaces and how people use it. And they found, obviously, that the amount of people using Gen AI tools has rocketed. The number of people using it on a daily basis in the UAE, I think, was well over 50%. But the number of people checking the results of their Gen AI usage of using these LLMs was much, much smaller. So have you got thoughts on how that's going to impact the usage of LLMs and agents?
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, this is expected. Like with the rate of the impact and how much these LLMs and AI tools are saving time for us in different work, like very, very simple to very complex ones. It is already expected for everyone to use AI very frequently. And I'm doing the same. I can tell you, like I just arrived from Baku. I am staying here for a day and I'm flying to Singapore, and a lot of things happening. So I have my own personal AI agent that helps me control my my schedule, mostly to make sure that I can adapt to the new time zones. And this is very important for me because I need to eat at the right time, sleep at the right time, interact with things at the right time. For example, it would tell me like you need to turn off your phone at this time because like you need to get ready because you're flying and blah, blah. This is a complex thing. I remember like 4 or 5 years ago, I had a challenge to go from UAE to US. It was always a difficult one for me, 12 hours difference. And I didn't know what should I do to make sure I can adjust quickly, especially if there's a conference in a day or two, you're going to go on the stage, you need to be fresh, you need to be ready. And now AI is doing it for me very, very efficiently. Even my agent checks my flight meals, and he will understand which one is necessarily good, or maybe I should avoid something, or maybe I should think about it. And funny enough, based on the context that I shared with AI, it will tell me that if you want to drink something, drink this or that, but it will never say hard no, because it still knows we're human and we might, go for either of them. So essentially, it is already expected that everybody use it very frequently. But at the same time, we all know that there will be inaccuracy and there would be some suggestions that are not relevant or even factually wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are large organizations doing about this risk that there might be errors and wrong things inserted or done by AI agents?
That's one of the challenges for enterprises. So we can see not many big tech companies or enterprises are leveraging ChatGPT or these LLMs in production within their ecosystem. So a lot of them are using for productivity gain. As I said, this is a very obvious one. People will use it in individual level. A lot of them are using for some low risk automations, let's say marketing or customer success. Already, like, when you're talking to a chatbot, what can go wrong? You have a conversation and it will point you in the right direction. Obviously, if you're asking about the exact amount in your bank account or changing your password, these are things that can be hard-coded into the platform that is able to fetch the data. So it doesn't need to actually predict or imagine what it might be. It will just look at your account and give you the exact number. So these are something that they are trying to augment to make it work for them. But mostly in the business side, solo entrepreneurs and smaller businesses are leveraging these AI and agents in production, which is very interesting because it will open new challenges for enterprises because they are being hit by these newcomers that are very fast. They're very quick and they will deliver a lot of value and they will get a lot of momentum in the market. The sort of the other side of the coin is that no matter how fast these small companies are, incumbents can very quickly replicate their projects with AI. So AI coders and these co-pilot platforms would allow very quick development of new products and technologies. And then that's the game. Like the enterprises within the 6 month or 4 month, they're able to do whatever that little company did as an experiment, and they were successful, and they will come to the market with a big hit.
Yeah, very true. A lot of this is so reproducible that the bigger organizations with the budget are going to be able to build anything they want.
It is, yeah. And I'm being asked by entrepreneurs, like, what is the moat? How can we build the moat? How can we make sure that we can protect ourselves? There's the good news and the bad news. Obviously, as things are being faster produced by AI, product can't be a moat, and many of the technologies will be replicated. Even Sam Altman said, like, the last year's model is a commodity now. Just think about like a multi-billion-dollar model that was sort of generated with lots of sweat and tears is now a commodity. It's just puts things in perspective.
Yeah. Moving so fast. There was some research over the last, I think this year, on what happens when you put all these agents together, and you're a large organization, you have thousands and thousands of them do we know what they're going to do when they all get together and start processing things? Back to your point about automation and having a human in the loop.
Yes, no, on the loop. But Eric Schmidt, the ex-CEO of Google, actually said something funny, but the truth as well, that if you feel there's a moment that agents are communicating in a way that it's not understandable, just plug all the power. That's it. That's the end of it. Like, you cannot do anything when the agents start talking to each other in a language that is not understandable, and you cannot trace it back. Then that's the moment that we need to, come in full force, physically plug the electricity. But in a sort of a more practical way, at this point, the good news is it is not too difficult to trace back the decisions. You don't want to do it for every step or literally every task that has been done, because we have automated things to scale and to be faster. And for us to do this again, walking through all the processes, it's just counterintuitive. It just doesn't make a lot of sense for us. So we can understand if something goes wrong, ask the model itself to give us a lot of, hints how this came to reality. And there are ways to trace it back, especially, as I said, like the ones that are reasoning models and make decisions in the steps, rather than monolithic and the big, large language models that just give you some answer right away. Those are much more difficult.
Yeah.
But these days, we are moving away from that. Look at ChatGPT 5. ChatGPT 5 is not actually one LLM. It's a decision-making system that would understand your question, and it will assign an LLM that is relevant to your problem. So imagine a lot of people say, for example, how is the weather in Dubai around January? You don't need the top model that needs billions of dollars of training to tell you that it's a great weather, it's a nice weather, and you would be able to enjoy walking around. So then that ChatGPT 5 sort of system would ask the very cheap LLM to give you the answer. So that means essentially we are going through a new process. It is no longer just in interfacing with a big, smart, sort of out of this world entity. We are implementing a little bit of process around this. And then again, when you go to the reasoning side, you'll see, there's a timer there that says, after 5 minutes of thinking or after 3 minutes of thinking, this is the answer. Essentially, that does not mean that LLM needs that time to just look inside and neurons would generate the answer. It has a pathway towards reasoning. So then the easy thing, the easiest way to identify what went wrong is actually trace back those chains of thoughts.
Yeah. You mentioned interfacing with the large model versus smaller steps with agentic models. But the interface is Gen AI, isn't it? We're moving towards a world where all of our interfaces are Gen AI, that it's natural language, that it's something that doesn't require a lot of technical competence to interface with the machine and the system that you want to use. And now in this region, we've got quite a lot of development on small footprint LLMs and AI models that will sit on your notebook and do a lot of the work that you need to do day to day without accessing models online all the time. That's going to change the way we work, play, education, everything, isn't it?
100%. I mean, SLMs are actually the way to go. I mean, we already have seen that these gigantic large language models are becoming more and more difficult to train and more difficult and expensive to inference. And then the result is actually not much better than those fine-tuned smaller language models.
And a lot more expensive.
That's exactly, yeah. And that's a good news. So this is, first of all, this is great news for the world. Why? Because originally, we've been hearing from these model builders that, guys, this one language model is going to dominate all the world, and we are going to decide for everything, and we are going to be sort of all in product that will, make prediction about economy. Also, it will be your doctor. Also, it will be your financial advisor. The good news is that at least at this point, we know that this is not the reality.
Yeah, it's funny. That's what a lot of people thought in 2023, that it was going to be the winning large language model was going to rule the world, and then it never happened.
That's right, and that was pushed by the sort of, from the power of those builders, right? They all have great the media and great access to the media. So imagine, like, from Elon Musk and from, and the funny story is, like, we have complicits in this as well. So the chip builder says, I mean, I have some, I'm biased, but whatever they say is right, because they're selling the chips. The cloud vendors, they say, yeah, I agree with them because I'm also giving them a lot of compute. So there was a great ecosystem and sort of collaboration between all the tech companies, that they were all agreeing with each other because they were all getting a lot of value out of this hype. But the good news is that's not going to be
true. We're pretty much out of time. What's coming up on your calendar? What have you got on your agenda at the moment? Can you talk about what you're doing and what's coming up?
So we are excited at Gen AI Works. We just announced our AI Academy, which is different from whatever else is there. We're just focusing on teaching quick sound bites of ways that people can use AI tools in their work. It's not going to be a long course like a PhD thing. It's going to be very quick and to the point. We also announced our agentic platform. It's open source. It's free for everyone. They can just leverage it. We announced it a couple of weeks ago. It already has 1,000 stars on GitHub. So probably some people liked it. Hopefully that will be helpful.
Great. And I'm subscribed to your newsletter. I'm sure many others are. Is that on LinkedIn, or you also got an email version?
I do have the one on 𝗵𝗲𝗄 as well.
Oh, right, okay.
It has a couple of 100K subscribers. It's not the same as the LinkedIn. It's obviously LinkedIn is easier, but I'm trying to have different ways of sharing the content for different audience. So I would love to have people sign up if they would like to hear a longer version or a deeper dive on 𝗵𝗲𝗄.
Cool. That's AI Frontier, right?
AI Frontier, yes.
Great. So you can find that on LinkedIn, and you can also find Steve on LinkedIn, Steve 𝗂𝗨. Thank you very much for dropping in to see us. Pleasure. You've been listening to AI Lunchtime Live, part of the Presight Presents AI Week. We'll be back again tomorrow at 12 noon till 2 p.m. UAE time with some more great guests. See you soon.